The sky was clear. The sun glared brightly overhead, casting its golden light across an ordinary stretch of land. Children played in the fields. Birds soared lazily through the heat. But then suddenly it began. The light started to fade. The temperature dropped. Shadows sharpened and twisted. Dogs barked, birds fell silent, and people looked upward in awe. The sky had begun to darken, not from clouds or storm, but by something far more rare, far more ancient. This was no ordinary afternoon. This was a solar eclipse. And for those watching, whether with high-powered telescopes or simply the naked eye shielded by old myths, it felt as though time itself had stopped. For a brief moment, the sun, the symbol of life and light, was devoured by darkness. Eclipses have fascinated humankind for millennia. But while we now understand the mechanics of these celestial alignments, the deeper story lies in what they have meant to civilizations across time. The solar eclipse is not just a cosmic event. It is a living relic of how history, science, and culture intertwine to shape our understanding of the universe and ourselves. The earliest humans, long before the invention of the telescope or written language, looked to the skies for signs. The movement of the stars and planets wasn't just background decoration, it was the script of the gods. So when the sun, the giver of life, suddenly went dark in the middle of the day, it was terrifying. Without the language of astronomy, early humans turned to the language of myth. In ancient China, the solar eclipse was believed to be a dragon devouring the sun. Entire villages would gather to bang drums, set off firecrackers, or scream into the sky to scare the beast away. In India, the demon Rahu was blamed. A vengeful spirit who had stolen immortality from the gods, Rahu would occasionally chase and catch the sun, swallowing it in revenge only to have it slip from his decapitated body moments later. The result? A brief but powerful eclipse. The Babylonians, skilled skywatchers and record-keepers, were among the first to notice that eclipses followed patterns. They could even predict them with astonishing accuracy. In fact, a Babylonian clay tablet from over 2,500 years ago records a total solar eclipse. Their understanding was not rooted in superstition but in observation. To them, the sky was a giant cosmic clock. And yet, even with such knowledge, fear lingered. In 585 BCE, during a fierce battle between the Lydians and the Medes in what is now modern-day Turkey, the sky darkened mid-combat. A solar eclipse swept over the battlefield. The soldiers dropped their weapons, stunned. It was interpreted as a sign from the heavens, and both sides agreed to a truce. The eclipse, quite literally, stopped a war. Across the Atlantic, the ancient Maya saw eclipses as moments of cosmic imbalance. Their astronomers, deeply advanced in charting the movements of celestial bodies, saw eclipses as dangerous portals through which malevolent gods could pass. Rituals were performed to restore balance. Sacrifices were sometimes made not because they misunderstood the science, but because science and spirit were not separate in their world. In West Africa, oral traditions told of spiritual battles in the sky. Among the Batamalaba people of Togo and Benin, eclipses were a reminder to resolve earthly conflicts. During the event, all hostilities ceased, and people would reconcile with family, neighbors, even sworn enemies. The eclipse, to them, was not just a shadow, but a sacred pause, a mirror held up to humanity. Fast forward to 1919. A solar eclipse off the coast of West Africa offered more than spiritual reflection, it offered proof of a revolutionary scientific theory. British physicist Arthur Eddington set out to observe the eclipse to test Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity. As the moon blocked the sun, Eddington measured the apparent position of stars behind it. They had shifted, bent by the sun's immense gravity exactly as Einstein predicted. The eclipse not only confirmed one of the most important scientific ideas of the 20th century, but also elevated Einstein to global fame. That moment marked a shift. The eclipse had moved from the realm of gods to the realm of equations. Today, we know precisely when and where an eclipse will occur. NASA can tell you the path of totality years in advance. Modern telescopes capture high-definition footage of the corona, the sun's outer atmosphere visible only during a total eclipse. Scientists use these moments to study solar flares, magnetic fields, and even to better understand Earth's own atmosphere. But knowing the science doesn't dull the magic. If anything, it deepens it. Ask anyone who has stood beneath a total eclipse, and they'll tell you words fail. The world doesn't just go dark. It goes quiet. Animals act strangely. Birds roost. Flowers close. A strange wind picks up. And for those couple of minutes when the moon perfectly aligns with the sun, it feels as if the Earth itself is holding its breath. This feeling has birthed a new kind of eclipse chaser, ordinary people who travel across the world just to stand in the path of totality. They camp, they wait, they wear special glasses and set up cameras, but the most powerful moments are often unrecorded. Tears, silence, goosebumps. Even in an age of satellites and smartphones, a solar eclipse still reaches something ancient in the human soul. It reminds us that we are small and yet not insignificant. In the 21st century, solar eclipses are celebrated across cultures in new ways. Schools host viewing parties. Temples hold quiet meditation. Artists draw inspiration from the eerie twilight. Poets compare it to love, to death, to transformation. And in some places, ancient rituals still persist. Fasting, praying, or lighting candles. A thread, unbroken, linking modern minds with ancient fears. In a way, each eclipse is a bridge, a rare moment where history, science, and culture overlap. Where mathematics meets myth. Where tradition meets telescope. When day turns to night, something stirs in us. A memory, perhaps, of a time when we looked to the sky for answers. A reverence for a universe that still holds mysteries, even as we chart its galaxies. The next time the sky begins to darken at noon, and people look up with shaded eyes and quiet wonder, remember this. You are part of a story that stretches back thousands of years. A story written not just in textbooks or legends, but in every corner of the world. A story where light meets shadow. Where fact meets feeling. Where the sun is not lost but only hidden, briefly behind the graceful arc of the moon. This is not just a solar event. It is a reminder that even in the age of science, the sky still speaks. And we still listen. Because history isn't just in books. It's in our skies. Thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button for amazing documentaries on this channel.